Hey guys, this is a really yummy, low-carb, keto-friendly pad thai recipe that I invented the other day. I was craving pad thai and this is what I came up with. It turned out really good. Try it. First, we're going to start off with melting some coconut oil. Of course, you can always substitute with olive oil or butter, but I don't like to use olive oil for higher heat, and I find that the coconut oil actually doesn't taste too bad in this recipe because it is a Thai recipe. Cut up your chicken thighs into smaller pieces and start frying it. Of course, guys, if you guys have chicken breast on hand, that's what you can use as well. I just thought that this would be more authentic if I used chicken thighs. And plus, chicken thighs are a lot more juicy and tender. And for this kind of recipe, I don't mind using a darker meat. So just toss that around and let that fry up a little bit. At any point while the chicken is frying up, you can add your seasonings. I just added pepper, guys. I kept it really simple since the sauce is really what's going to give it most of its flavor later on in the dish. Now just let that fully cook, and once it's fully cooked and looking something like this, you can remove it from the stove and remove the chicken from the pan. We're going to use those juices and that oil to fry up the next part. When it comes to shirataki noodles, guys, you want to rinse them really well in a colander, and once that's done, let it drip dry. And I personally like to fry them up a little bit before I add anything else. This removes some of the moisture and I feel like it gives them definitely a better texture. Try it out for yourself and you can decide if you agree. So anyways, I'm just tossing this around in the pan and I'm just going to leave it here to sit while it fries up a little bit and loses some of the moisture. So here I'm just taste testing one of the noodles to make sure that they taste all right and that the texture is starting to become what I am looking for. Oops, I dropped a noodle. All right. So they seem to be pretty good, but I'm going to let them fry up for a little bit long. Once they're to your liking, guys, you can now add the next part, and the next part is our eggs. So just crack 3 eggs in a bowl and scramble those up and then add them to the pan like so. You want to try and keep the eggs separate from the noodles the best you can at first, just so the eggs can cook up separately, and then later we'll mix them in with the noodles. Once you've let them sit and cook for a little bit, you can start scrambling them like you would normal eggs. Once they're at the halfway mark or so, you can start scrambling them into the noodles, just because you don't want to let the egg sit on the pan for too long directly, because the eggs and noodle mixture will be staying in the pan while we cook up everything else, which is going to be for quite a little bit longer. We don't want to overcook the egg. You can mix that up until all the egg is completely incorporated into the noodles, and then you can push the noodle egg mixture to the side, and we'll now add our bean sprouts. You can add as little or as much bean sprouts as you'd like. I used about 1 to 2 cups here. I think I actually used about 1 cup, but I realized later that I probably would have used more, so I'll probably use about 2 cups next time, and that's why I wrote 2 cups in the ingredients list. Just a suggestion, but I mean, even if you don't have these on hand, you don't need to use them. I just feel like they really give it that authentic texture and taste, and I don't mind them. Also, they're low carb and healthy for you, so why not? Next, we're going to make and add the sauce. The sauce is really easy, guys. You just mix all the sauce ingredients that I listed earlier, mix that up nicely, and you can just pour that in. It's so yummy, guys. Also, if you want to make it more to your liking, more spicy, less spicy, things like that, you can always taste test the sauce before you pour it in and add whatever it is that you want more of. So if you want it more tangy, you can add more vinegar. More spicy, you can add more sriracha. You guys, don't be scared to taste test and try out different versions of it. Now we're going to reintroduce that chicken that we fried up earlier, and we're going to let the sauce mix with the noodles and the chicken and the bean sprouts, and it's just going to absorb all that flavor. So we want to let it cook up for a few minutes here. So mix it in really well. And the shirataki noodles really do absorb whatever flavor the sauces have that you're mixing with the noodles. So you definitely want to let that sit for a little bit and really soak that in. And the sauce is really what's going to make this dish, guys. Now, just a few minutes before you're ready to take this off the stove, you can add your cilantro. And if you don't like cilantro, you can always leave that out, guys, of course. And also at this point, I added the cut up chives, but for some reason I didn't get this on video, and I'm not quite sure why. But yeah, I just added the chives last minute just because they wilt very easily, and they can overcook very quickly because they're so thin. So yeah, so this looks good, and I'm just going to let it fry for a few more minutes, absorb all that yummy deliciousness, and then we're going to take it off the stove and plate it. And hey guys, please like and subscribe below if you enjoyed this video and want to see more recipes like this. Enjoy!